Hey y'all, welcome to the Clock Tower. I'm Colton here with Brandon. 5 cards, 5 minutes. Commons and uncommons for Chainsaw Man. Brandon, what's our first card?
First up, we have this level 0. Has a climax combo on the stock soul. As long as you have 2 more other characters, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add 2 characters, or the easy revenge event, add it to hand. Cost of that being to put the climax into waiting room. So your climax is able to go to the next deck, you're able to continue on your attacks, and you have plussing resources from hand that you can even do from the back row. Additionally, you also have a spammable brainstorm attached to this. The spammable brainstorm is a check 3, add 1, discard from hand, so you're able to effectively potentially draw into climaxes, so you could use this to get the climax combo.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more combos like this. This is obviously reminiscent of the Elizabeth from SDS in that list that went top 8 at Worlds. Slamming Stock Soul does feel better than it reads because you do just get +1 stock and you get to push damage. This is a really good combo. This is the engine for the deck, and it allows you to play other things in your mid game without having to worry about trying to fix for an exact level 1 board. Next, we're going to talk about 2 cards in quick succession because they work together, and we're going to start with Future Devil. It's a level 0. Everything else gets 500. When your other 2/1, which we'll talk about in a second, is played, you can send this underneath that 2/1 as a marker, and if you do, search your deck for a character and shove it into the bottom of your stock. So it is a +1 stock when it becomes a marker under this 2/1. The 2/1 is a 2k assist at the start of your clock phase or your attack phase, and you can proc this multiple times a turn. If that 0 is under this card as a marker, you can look it up to 3 and put them back. You can't rearrange them, but you get to see the next 3 cards before you clock draw and before you attack. Also, whenever you trigger a CX, you can ditch a CX to heal 1. This card is on a common somehow. This card is insane. Like, the value on this card is actually ridiculous. You essentially get it for free because you get the marker that replaces the stock that you paid to play it. Plus, you get perfect knowledge of your deck before you even clock, so you can decide if you want to clock based on what you're going to get. You also can decide your attack order based on where your triggers are going into your attack phase, and it's just a free heal every time you trigger a bar or a pants, pretty much. This card is extremely good, extremely high value, and in a deck that wants to try to execute that heal loop at 2, which the stock soul list usually does, it provides you just another way to heal at level 2 and try to extend the game an extra turn.
Yeah, I think the combination of these cards allows for some really interesting things because it gives you so much information. You also can see potential climaxes, so you know when to brainstorm, kind of thing. It's a very small package, but that package is so easily tucked into anything. Next up, we have the Kishibe. It's a 1/0 in green. It's 6k base. You can't play events or backups as the downside to this card. For each other Kishibe, you get an additional 2,000 power. So if you have 3 of these on field, you're sitting at 10k across the board for a 1/0.
Yeah, this is a card that you're going to see a lot in the stock soul lists because you don't have a level 1 combo you have to fix for. You have to be aware of the events or backups clause on this because this does affect your ability to play that 1/1 easy revenge event. This isn't like the target mid game, like you're not fixing for 3 of these to try to get the board, I don't think, but it is essentially an 8k striker if you have 2 of them down, and it also sits big cross turn, it doesn't lose that power. Solid mid game piece, can potentially plus on board. And then finally, a 2/2 red event. It's an egg soul. You pay 2, put this into memory, and then you get to flip this card face down, which is a mechanic we barely ever see. I think Apocrypha is the only set that really leaned into it. If it's in memory, you can turn it face down, choose a character, that character gets -3 soul. This is a fairly costed neg soul. You're paying 2, pitching 1, essentially, for a neg soul. But that neg soul can't be blinked. It basically can't be denied because the neg soul condition is sitting in. You don't even have to have a character on the board. As long as your opponent has a character on the board, you can just hit something for -3 soul. You can hit whatever you want with the -3 soul. It's not summoning across from something, and it's basically non-interactable neg soul at a fair cost.
The only thing that does prevent this is hexproof. If your opponents have hexproof, you can't target those characters, but outside of that, as long as you can target it, you can put -3 soul on it, so you can even do that into open lanes, being able to potentially deny those kind of swings as well.
And that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back on Tuesday with Weiss 102, and in a couple of weeks, more videos of some variety. Until next time, thank you so much for joining us. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and have a good one.
We'll see you then.